Welcome back to Sidebar. We are back for another week of Wild series and Trios series, and joining me tonight, I have got our regular host, Odlo. Welcome.
Hello, hello. Always good to be back on Sidebar, even if it's 24 hours later.
Yeah, we had to push it back a day. We had some screenshots we needed to grab off the site, which are now on there. Yep, same coverage, just a day later. Gives us an extra 24 hours to think about what we're going to say and how we're going to go about it.
Analyze the matchups.
Plus, we also got the announcement of the mini set. So
It's
that's
true, it's true. That's exciting.
something we can talk about we wouldn't have been talking about yesterday. And my special guest tonight, joining us from the Hearth Centre regular panel, is Geranium Battle. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, an extra 24 hours that you've given me. I have actually given no thought to any of this. So I am happy to join on this journey, though. Let's figure it out together.
Yeah, there's a little bit to cover. We've got a few games. We've also got our mystery segment in the middle as well, which neither of you know anything about, which is always fun. So I think we'll have a bit of fun with that one today. But we're going to kick things off with Trio Series, as we always do. Trio Series is now 4 weeks in, starting to establish itself with some teams at the top, teams at the bottom, but it's also at that point of every THL series where anything can happen. This is the point where if you start winning now and you keep winning, you probably get from the bottom to the top. And if you're at the top, you have to at least pick up a few more wins to try and make the playoff spot. So we're going to kick things off first with our feature lineup for trios this week. Odler, I'll get you to take us through this lineup, which was brought to us by Easy.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have Easy bringing, I would say, a semi-unconventional lineup. We've got Oathbreaker Paladin, which looks like it's the minion buffing token kind of deck. Play Crusaders or the opponent, and Shadow Aggro Priest. They're the two kind of outliers, and then obviously we've got the Treant Druid and the Outcast EH more standard decks. So a very aggressive overall lineup from Easy this week. Pretty interesting to see.
Yeah,
And then
uh,
we're doing the next lineup, or
no. Dradium, did you have anything you wanted to point out with this particular lineup? Anything you stands
Ah,
out there?
I am I'm so disappointed in you, Oddlaw. I can't believe you didn't notice at the very top of that Oathbreaker Paladin. Snow Flipper Penguin. This is Penguin's return to the THL. You might have seen it a lot in Wild yourself, but in Standard, this is the first time I've seen it. And
I
yeah,
yeah, it's I saw this deck. I watched a video about this deck today. I was pretty excited for the Snow Flipper Penguin return.
Aggro Paladin.
Yeah.
Very early plays on the board. Vomits its hand out extremely early. This might be the new best Paladin. So I'm excited to see Easy having brought it. Um, and yeah, as you said, a very competent, aggressive lineup here. Treant Druid trying to get its scam in there, running Kiri, which is the interesting tech. Every single one has like 1/30th card, and Kiri is probably more in there to fight against control. And yeah, very cool lineup.
I also see the Ignis in there as well, which is always handy. I mean, it could be that last little bit of damage from hand, as opposed to relying on the board state. Um, but
Yeah, I really like the Ignis in this list actually. Makes a lot of sense. Like, say your board gets cleared and they're in like 8 health or something, and you just have the Ignis weapon, and finish them off. It's pretty clever actually.
yeah, definitely something to give it a little bit more than just my board's gone. I'm at a bit of trouble here, but yeah,
Yeah, that's
they
sort of the it's interesting they're not running Topior. So instead of running Topior, they're still running Lifebinder's Gift to get the value there, I guess. And they're running Kiri, but they're not running Topior. So Ignis and Kiri have to carry that late game.
yeah, for sure. And they did get the 3-2 win this week, so well done, Easy, on an easy win. Moving along to the next match, the first match in full we're going to cover is Brown Alumni Esports against Amber Flight Gaming. As we did last week, we've redacted the scores here, I've redacted the bans. Oddlaw, you can be Brown Alumni Esports, and Geranium, you'll be Amber Flight Gaming here. I've got a matchup spread here, just taken from Legend Stats since the last patch. Your decks are down the left there, Oddlaw, for Brown. What are you banning here, and what are you expecting to be banned from your decks?
Well, it's very it's a very interesting situation to be put in where I see a lot of red Masha. What I will say is I think even though the Nature Shaman looks like the gut ban, it might be between that one and the Rainbow Mage. You could sneak the Relic in the Rainbow Mage, but like it's looking pretty sus on those two decks. The Curse Warlock, I don't know if it's one of those decks that can be in anything, but I have a feeling Nature Shaman just destroys it because it just combos over the top. So I'm thinking it across the board, Nature Shaman is the most obvious ban, with maybe the Rainbow Mage, depending on how you feel about your chances is your chances of the enemy team not being as strong of a Nature Shaman player as they could be.
All right, and what do you think they're banning of your decks there?
I think if I'm the enemy team, I'm probably most afraid of the Relic DH or the Moonbeam Druid. Like that deck can be really annoying to lose to because it kind of does nothing, and then all of a sudden you're dead. So could be a hate ban towards the Moonbeam Druid. My gut tells me they probably got rid of the Relic DH.
All right, Geranium from the other side. Do you agree, or how do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it really depends on sort of the players and how you read the players. Um, so the general matchup spread here, Brown Alumni Esports has brought a lot of anti-control. Moonbeam Druid is basically only good against control decks, and even here, actually, the Curse Luck and the Control Warrior, it's not as powerful against as it is against other control decks like Priest or Control Warlock. Um, Whereas Amberflight Gaming brought control decks, but it brought the control decks that were sort of okay into these. So, I'm actually feeling like Amberflight Gaming has the freedom to say that they could ban the Moonbeam Druid, but the Moonbeam Druid, while it has the best matchups into some of their decks, might not be the worst feeling for them. And I think with how they had with how we saw a Curse Warlock perform on stream last week, it sort of fumbled a little bit. So that one's not necessarily needed to be banned. Relic DH as well, very draw dependent. I think maybe Naga Mage could be an alternative ban. If you're thinking you're facing people at the very tippy top of their game, Naga Mage is probably the best deck in Hearthstone right now at the very top of ladder. So I think Moonbeam Druid could be the ban, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Naga Mage.
Alrighty, and in your deck, what do you think they're banning from yours?
Oh, I mean, I think Nature Shaman's a pretty clear ban. Nature Shaman has uh, two very good matchups, as you can see, the Curse Warlock and the Moonbeam Druid. And then the other two ones are ones that can be won without much fuss. Um, so yeah, I would just expect Nature Shaman.
Alrighty, let's have a look at what was banned. So we've got Nature Shaman, as expected, and Naga Mage. We had the Naga Mage ban. I know Stinsy's played a lot of Naga Mage, and he's pretty good on it. So yeah, not to be unexpected. I think the stats there are a bit foxy a little bit, and as we said, like Moonbeam Druid can be a bit swingy if you get the good start. If you don't get the good start, sometimes the opponent can get the clears that they need, and you don't get there as Moonbeam. So All right, with those bands, how do we think? What are we thinking with the lead? What are you going to lead off with there, Oddlaw? You've banned Nature Shaman. You don't have your Naga Mage. What? How would you lead off, or how
Mm.
do you expect the match to go in queue order?
So we've got kind of three control decks with Rainbow Mage's quote unquote control deck. It's kind of like it's stalling until it can kill you with its Sif. So I'm thinking we want to open with something. I mean, I would probably open with the Moonbeam Druid. If I'm going to bring it, then I'm pretty confident on the deck. I like playing the deck. And if we get into the Rainbow Mage, like, it is what it is. But the other two seem relatively smooth to beat. I know the Control Warrior is kind of scary for Moonbeam Druid with the armor and stuff, but that deck can do like 60, 70, 80 damage. Um, given enough time. So I would assume the Moonbeam Druid. I assume my opponent's probably leading uh, Mage, but hopefully they're not. If I really think they're going to lead Mage, then maybe I consider doing like the Relic DH lead because the matchup spreads relatively decent all around. Um, uh, so I like those two leads. I'm kind of just praying my Warlock gets through, honestly. Maybe in the mirror, maybe something like that. I don't know. It's scary having the warlock in this situation, I would say.
All right, Dranium, what do you reckon? What are you leading with your
Well,
Shaman band?
so here's the thing. It's Conquest, so we're probably gonna have to face most of these matchups anyways. Um, so what I did is my random number generated told me to lead Curse Warlock. However, I think if you're a calculating person, I think the one with the least variance in its opening matchups is probably Control Warrior. So um, if you think like you want to just see how this match is going to go out from here, and you believe yourself on the deck, I think Control Warrior is a great first pick. So Curse Warlock actually isn't a bad first pick either, by the way, since you have two 50-50 matchups and one minorly unfavored. Um, you could just try to sneak it through past the Moonbeam Druid, or I would probably lead Control Warrior.
Yeah. All right. Let's see how the match went here. So we had a Moonbeam Druid lead, found the Rainbow Mage, and actually won the unfavored. And then they backed that up with the Curse Warlock. Curse Warlock lost to Curse Warlock in the mirror. Relic DH, they shifted to the Relic DH. So both teams shifted off their deck, moved to Relic DH. Relic DH won over the Rainbow Mage with the favoured win there. Curse Warlock lost to the Control Warrior, and then Curse Warlock lost again to the Rainbow Mage. So the Curse Warlock with the two unfavored and the mirror lost the mirror in game two and couldn't get through. So yeah, four Curse Warlock. One, two, three. Yeah, three Curse Warlock losses there, but
It's exactly how Oddlaw drew it up. You were saying that you were worried.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I mean, I don't believe in Curse Warlock, if I'm honest. I think you're better off just playing either Thaddeus or the Control Warlock. I think it's more consistent, but it's kind of like all the Warlock variations in this matchup spread are going to have a rough time, I think. Um, so, yeah, it is what it is. It's kind of how it goes, especially if there's a mirror match involved. Kind of how matchups can go sometimes.
yeah, I just think if they had got that mirror win in game two, then just being left with Relic DH against three reasonably good matchups there, could have been very different there. So
Yeah, it could have been a very quick 3-0.
for sure. All right, we'll move along to trios match number two. And do the same again. I'll get you guys to swap. Geranium, you can be the team on the left, and Oddlaw team on the right. So we've got Cheesemongers United against my team, Pog Speed Sliders. Geranium, do you want to lead us off with what you think the bans could be here and what you would ban from the other side? Your decks are down the left.
Yeah, I'm just sorry. I'm just taking a quick look at the decks here. Uh, they're both very interesting constructions. Like the Outcast DH running the somewhat unpopular Argus from Pogsley Speed Sliders. Um, we've got the Odin Warrior with some, one for your chorus riff, um, but then you've got Prison of Yogg-Saron, but you don't have you don't have the From the Depths, and you don't have the Sir Finley. So it's a little bit of trying to cater to both sides there. Um, I think looking at what Cheesemongers United brought, Pog Speed Sliders might have a bit of a tough time getting that Outcast DH through. I mean, it's facing Control Warlock and Control Warrior, which are two of its worst matchups. Um, and then two even matchups, Outcast DH, Control Priest, both about 50-50. So I think, or am I? Oh no, wait, I think that's a Thaddeus Warlock, actually, not Control Warlock. I don't know why it says Control.
Okay, yeah.
Wait.
I think it
No,
might have
it's
been.
Control Warlock.
It
I'm
should have
just
been.
dumb. No, I'm dumb. I'm dumb.
It should have been control.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have the
I'm,
first.
It's very
sorry, I
control.
misread it.
It was control.
Yeah, so that's very, very good into Outcast DH as well. So I think, wait, which side am I?
You're the
I'm Cheesemongers United.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm feeling pretty confident about that. And Drum Druid, this one is running Topior, so I don't like that as much. I don't know. I'd probably be banning the Rainbow Mage and saying that I can still outvalue the Outcast DH, the Drum Druid, and the Control Warrior here.
Yeah, but what do you expect the ban back the other way?
Oh, what gets banned of mine?
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit interesting. So I mean, I think Control Priest has to stay up. I do think Control Priest is a tilter deck, and so that one could be a very viable ban. Um, I think that I would expect my Warlock to be banned, though. I think it's extremely good into um, a few of these decks, and might be one of the best decks outside of the very tippy top of meta.
All right, Outlaw. Well,
Hmm.
back the other way. Do you agree? What are you looking to ban? What do you think might get banned?
Yeah,
From this?
I'm in a similar mind. The thing is with Control Priest against a lot of the decks that we brought as Speed Sliders is it's all about Dirty Rat disruption, that kind of thing. Like, ooh, if they rat your Sith, they rat your Odin, that kind of thing. And then obviously the Outcast DH is just they're clearing your board. If they have to clear, then you lose. So not a huge fan of playing against Control Priest. But there's a lot of really polarizing matchups we might want to get rid of, so we kind of have to leave it up. I I tend to agree with the Warlock ban mainly because if they ban Mage or Druid, then you're kind of just auto letting Warlock through most of the time. You're it's hard because like it's a very tricky situation because also the Control Warrior is just gonna come and roll us. For me, it's between Control Warlock, Control Warrior as the bans. If we're trying to get through Outcast DH and Drum Druid, you know. But yeah, it's tricky to ban here because there's a lot of kind of polarizing matchups both way that, depending on queue order, can be really swingy in terms of the overall matchup.
All right, we'll look at the bans here. So we did have Rainbow Mage banned from Pog Speed Sliders, and for Cheesemongers, the Warrior was banned. All right, so Geranium, how were you going to approach the matchup with the Warrior ban and the Rainbow Mage? What are you leading off? What are you expecting to see back the other way?
Look, I'm going to be honest. Me personally, I feel extremely confident in all of these decks. Um, even looking at the matchups, the only really bad one that we have is the Outcast DH into the Control Warrior from the other side. So, let me see what my random number generator says. It's another 1, which means sorry, another 1. I guess that means it's Outcast Demon Hunter because you banned the Control Warrior. So yeah, I guess just try to sneak that through. Really though, like all these, there's no good option for what the Pog Speed Sledders want to see on the other side. So yeah, not too fussed.
I don't know. What do you think?
I think if I'm cheesemongers, I'm trying to sneak through my Outcast DH first thing because I'm expecting I'm most scared of Drum Druid into the Outcast DH, and either I end up in a situation where I'm in a very precarious Outcast versus Drum Druid as the final matchup, and then I'm conceding essentially, or yeah, I'm really scared of Drum Druid lead as cheesemongers, which means I'm probably playing Control Warlock first, which means I'm then leading. Well, it's a bit rough. I guess you lead Control Warrior.
Yeah, like I think we've covered here. It's a bit difficult because you got so many polarizing matchups here. So I think we actually did a random number generator to see what we would lead off. So well, let's see what did happen in the match. Control Priest up first, beat the Outcast DH. Got the 3 mana spell that discounts all your clears and had endless clears. So Outcast DH, I think we even got to fatigue and was like, okay, we're out of cards, so we're not going to win this one. So we switched onto Control Warrior into Control Warlock, and Control Warrior beat the Control Warlock. From memory, we dropped Odin on 8, and they had the Sargeras down already, or on that turn maybe. And then we had the spell that does 5 and deals 5 once you forge it. That hit did 5 damage to one taunt, did 4 damage to the other taunt, and then we played spells that give us armor and got exact lethal on 9. I think that's how it
There you
worked.
go.
But yeah, because a Control Warrior beat the Control Warlock. They stayed on Control Warlock. The Drum Druid got up over the Control Warlock. In that match, we had turn 6 double, like Solar into the buffed 7-cost spell. So we had a huge board. They had played Symphony on 5 and then top decked the draw Sargeras and play it to clear the whole board. But we still got the Drum Drill through in that match with Topior and stuff. So Drum Drill got through. We're up 2-1. Control Warlock then beat the Outcast, and then it came down to an Outcast DH mirror for the final one. So it was pretty close match. Could have gone either way. But probably a couple of matchups there where the unfavored deck managed to find the good stuff and sneak a win through.
Yeah, I think you speaking towards game 1, you said that the Control Priest continued to clear. Uh, I will note that this is not a normal Control Priest deck from Cheesemongers United. It has a ton of clears. It has Serenity, it has Light Bomb. These are not normal
Yeah,
things you'd
yeah.
see in the deck.
We didn't
It's
see
insane.
we didn't
All
see
removal.
Serenity, but they still had a heap of removals when the
Yeah.
game did end. But yeah, there was a ton of removals. I think we were close to banning the priest. It's just that with the other matchups for Outcast, it was like, do we really just want to rely on having to get it through in the mirror, which it ended up getting through in the mirror. So, but yeah, it was close to being a priest ban with all of those extra clears in it. It's a very
Yeah,
edgy
congrats.
aggro lineup. But yeah, so it was a nice little win. It got us back to 2-2. Cheesemongers, I think they've got the bye coming up. Oh no, they already had the bye, so yeah, they're 0-3. But I think they've had a lot of close matches, just haven't quite got there. All right, we're going to look at the standings now for Trio Series. So, Geranium, I'll get you to take us through the Trio standings after week 4.
Of course. Looking at how the teams have shaken up here, we have one undefeated team. Now, normally that would signal the end of the season. However, we have to have a minimum of 6 weeks. So we're going to have 2 more weekly tourism, but that I mean 3 because there's a mini set coming. But anyways, at the top, we've got the One Owl Malgam Band undefeated at 4-0. We've got Swagoi at 3-1. The Big Three at 3-1. The W Gang at 3-1. Then we have another Sussy Union. They do have a bye, so I think that might count sort of as a win for them. So it's
Yeah.
like as if they're 2-2. And their win-loss sum is good enough to put them at the top of the 2-2s. Amber Flight Gaming also 2-2. The Gang gets top decked. You could have watched their match on stream. Unfortunately, it ended with them going to 2-2. Easy, also a bye, also 1-2, but their win-loss sum, their opponents just weren't as good as another Sussy Unions, so they are just inside playoffs. Then we go to Brown Alumni Esports. They now find themselves at 2-2. The Pogspeed Sliders also 2-2, but a 2-2 that once again is not in playoff position. Then we've got Good Question at 1-3, Chewy's Scorbid Adepts at 0-3, and finally Cheesemongers United at 0-3.
Yeah, Good Question's got the bye this round, so they're 1-3 plus the bye takes them to 2-3. So some good opportunities there. Sort of Brown, Pogspeed Sliders and Brown Alumni Esports are playing this week, and that's almost like an elimination match. Whoever loses that match, their win-loss sum, so their first tiebreak is probably not going to be good enough with a 3-3 record to make playoffs if it goes to 6 weeks only, as you said. So sort of Brown and Pogspeed Sliders are playing like a mini playoff, mini finals match this week. And I'd imagine that the teams below them are probably going to struggle as well. So it's probably like those top 8 and then the next 2. So yeah, Brown versus Pog, and then Easy, the Gang gets top decked, another Sussy Union, and Amberflight Gaming. I think those 4 teams are playing each other in some form. So 3 of those 6 teams there are going to be finding themselves inside the top 8, and one of the losing teams will still be hanging on to a spot. So still a lot to play for a lot of teams there.
Likely, you're looking to try to end with about a 3-3 will at least put you at a possibility of getting into playoff position. A little bit over half of the 3-3 teams will make it into playoffs. So, yeah, it's not necessarily elimination for Brown Alumni Esports versus Pogspeed Sliders, but likely is based on who they'll then be facing and their win-loss sum having to be then compared to the other 3-3 teams.
Yeah. All right, Trios is covered for this week, and we are going to move on to the mystery segment. We are redoing one of the mystery segments that we've already done so far this season. One of my favorites, Name the Card. And the card is returning again. I know you loved it, Oddlaw, and I know Geranium Battle knew every single card in the chat before either yourself or Nubs. I think it was Nubs was on here doing it with you, the show. So let's kick the first one off, and I'm going to start revealing some squares, and we'll see if you do guess, you can't guess on the next square. So if it's an incorrect guess, so we're just going to you can jump in with a guess at whatever time, and then we'll go from there. So
Struggling with
do
this so much.
Do I just speak up or do I like type in the chat?
no, just
I just speak
up.
up.
Okay.
Here we go.
Gives it away.
Gives it away, you say?
Okay, it actually kind of does. I'm thinking of like 1 or 2 sets now.
All right. Mysterious Challenger.
Wait, can we just guess as much as we want?
Yeah.
No, I
But
can't guess this one.
Okay.
if you guess wrong, you can't guess the next square. So what's
Okay.
on the next square reveal? So like Oddlaw's
Okay.
logged out.
Feel
I
it
would
wasn't
like
Mysterious
to.
Challenger.
I would like to guess the graveyard. What is it? The rogue location.
No.
No.
Oh,
All right. So we get a square, and then you'll be both locked out. So I can reveal 2 squares. We'll go with somewhere down here, maybe. I don't want to give too much away. Maybe up here somewhere. There. A little barrel. Any guesses?
oh my god. We need a clue.
I will hold my tongue.
Gonna
Is it in
start.
standard?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh no.
Come on, show me a little bit more of their feet. Come on, who is it?
He's holding out on us. Yeah. It's that one that does 3 to the enemy hero. Herbold something. Herbold.
You're talking about Kobold Sand Trooper, which is not the right one.
Well, we tried.
I'm going to just save you the wrong guess there.
It's got a crate. Is it the hunter thing? The what's it called?
A hunter's secret.
Uh,
Cesari, you
something the crates. I don't remember what it's called. It's a hunter secret, right?
Well, it's got sunglasses. It's cool.
Is this rat trap?
It is Rat Trap.
Oh, amazing.
Let's try not to reveal the cheese.
I thought it was that other hunter the crate one, the hunter, whatever that card's called.
Yes, the crate,
The one
one.
the one where you get +2/+2 on a minion in hand.
Yeah, that one.
All right, I got Rat Trap. Let me cover all this back up again. This is
Just dusted a rat trap today.
Oh, did you? Oh, poor people in Hearthstone.
Yeah, well, it's more like I realized that I haven't played it in like 3 years. Maybe I don't need this anymore.
All right, let's try and even it up here. We'll see how we go with this one. Just want to bring the art up myself, see where I want to try and reveal some squares so we're not giving too much away. Top right's always good. There's nothing going on up there.
Oh, yeah, this is the rogue location. So this is a graveyard.
Whoa.
No.
I see a bomb.
I see a totem?
You reckon?
Maybe.
Who knows? I want to see the square next to the one that at the top that was revealed. I feel like that's a secret.
Oh, interesting. Now, you're really asking 2 people who I think would always 100% lose the nubs. So,
I was terrible at this last time.
I'm always terrible at this.
All right, here we go. We're getting there. Oh,
What?
it's something.
It really does have fingers.
I've revealed everything that's not going to give too much away.
Okay, then give too much away then.
Looks undead to me.
Looks positively grabby. I don't know. It looks like kind of like a frog, but I know it's not.
Oh, I'd never seen this in my life.
Whoa! It's the priest spell that you can trade it into your deck and it upgrades, and then it summons Death Rattle minions.
Yeah, what's it called?
Awesome. I know exactly what it's called. Yep. Yep. Okay. Now I give up.
It is that card.
I don't know.
I don't know if I've ever seen this card in my life.
Okay, it is 3 mana. It's a
I know
shadow spell.
Geranians played it. Well, not that one.
Okay.
I'll give it to you because you've explained exactly what it is. It's the Amulet of Undying.
Right.
It's the
See, I said it was undead.
3 mana
Thank you,
tradable.
Cesari.
Resurrect 1 friendly Death Rattle minion. It is
That's
the
cool.
Yeah,
Does it seem play?
it's Ball Priest. It's the Ball Priest card.
Oh.
Yeah, it was in West Priest, the one that you have to play one of each mana cost. It was in that
Yeah.
for a long time in Standard.
True, I
Alright,
forgot that
well,
was a deck.
count that as 1 each. What? Let's go with
Good enough.
This one. We'll go with this one. Let's see. I think it matters where I release stuff on this. It's probably going to be an easy one. Top left. There we go. Nothing up there.
Mm.
Whoop.
Whoa. Whenever something
Oh, what the heck? No, keep going, sorry.
Oh.
This makes me think it's like Radiance, but not Radiance.
Oh. Yes. Keep going. We're gonna get this one.
Yeah, for sure I know the name of this one. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, definitely. Oh, it's a okay. Doomhammer. I have to wait one more. Okay, Coghammer. Oh, it's this guy. Okay, I know who it is.
Kobold, something. That's
Yep.
a kobold.
Kobold Sticky Finger. Ha ha ha.
What a good card. Everyone should run that.
It's amazing how you don't remember the art of spells as much as you do of minions.
Warrior, 3 mana, deal damage equal to your armor. What is it called?
Ash? No, Shield Slam?
No, it's deal damage to all minions equal to your armor. Remove all that armor.
Yes, that's
Bolstering Fury. I don't
Oh,
know,
that's
dude.
the card? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's called
the card.
it's not Shield Shadow, it's the
anyone
other
in
one.
chat got the name?
Bellowing Flame.
Come on, Cesari. What's this called? 3 mana warrior card. Destroy your armor. Deal that much damage to all minions.
It's on the tip of my tongue. We can do it. Wait.
Yeah, Zari's in the same boat. Let's go.
No,
I
can
am
do it.
not.
Are there no odd warrior players in the chat?
No, I hate.
I clearly am. I know what it is.
Reckless Flurry.
That's the one.
Okay.
I have PTSD from that card. Therefore, I couldn't remember what it was called.
I couldn't have told you that's what it was. I know the card, Reckless Flurry. I couldn't tell you the artwork. So, done well. Okay, we'll put that one away, and we'll do this one.
I'm gonna guess Patches off the bat.
I'm gonna guess Haunted Graveyard, the rogue location. Oh, yep, that's my guess.
Nice. This looks warrior-esque. I see a hammer.
I'm gonna guess Ignis.
Nope.
Okay, I thought Ignis was actually pretty close.
Whoa. This looks so warrior.
What the
Can we
heck?
just not look at the cards when we play cards?
Oh, I know what it is. It is the 4 mana deal 5 if you control. No, if you have a dragon in hand, it gains 5 armor.
That's not it.
Not it? Let's go.
Nice.
Well, I'll wait for 2 cells to reveal because that's how I'm guessing.
Is it a warrior card? That's
It is not a warrior card.
okay.
I'm guessing something, whatever the name is, Dragon's Horde. That's certainly a card.
It's not Dragon's Horde.
God dang it.
Well, we can basically see the card. Is it a priest
Yeah.
card?
Nope.
I know you said it wasn't, but is it a warrior card?
Nope.
It's a spell,
Oh.
right? It must be a
It's a
spell.
spell, yeah. All these spells.
That's why we can never recognize them.
I know, this is the beauty of this, is that you
Is it?
don't recognize the spell.
It's not conditioning, right? That's just
Nope.
the orc from conditioning. Okay.
I would have guessed conditioning
Oh,
too, but I
wait.
know what conditioning's art is.
Wait. Is it? It's that rogue card, right? Does it generate like a random spells or something?
Stazari.
Stazari
Stazari's
is on the right track. Okay, is it
I mean, yes, it's a paladin.
is it a
Look
spell
at
that
look at that big hammer they're carrying. That's a paladin's mace
Oh,
for
it's a
sure.
paladin card.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the one that recruits
It
3
recruits
2
stuff,
drops.
Yes, it recruits stuff.
Is it Call to Arms? Is
It's
the one that
it
recruits 3
is
2 drops?
it is Call to Arms.
Is that what Call
Okay.
to Arms art is? No way.
Yes.
Dude, I played that card so much.
I know, right?
Oh my god, it is.
I do
That's
have.
insane.
I know you do. This is the thing with spells. Like you just do not recognize the artwork because, like we said, like
that's embarrassing.
you've got it in hand, but once you play it, it's gone. Like at least with
And
the
that card, if you
minions-
have it in hand, it's instantly out.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I have literally never played Call to Arms, so I don't know. But it is famous.
the tax paladin special.
All right, last one.
All right.
We always start top left again. There we go. Oh,
That is Haunted Graveyard. Oh, okay, maybe not.
Oh. But what if? I hope the theme isn't all spells because I feel like we'll struggle.
that's another spell.
Oh yeah, of course. Thanks.
Is
Mitch.
it Cultivation?
Yeah, it looks druidy, huh?
I mean, yeah, there's literally a druid in the background.
Looks druidy, says the
Is it the
druid main.
The
one
one that's
mana side quest that makes you draw a minion? I forget exactly what it is. It's you pay 10 mana worth of minions.
No.
I think it's one of those one that summons treants, maybe.
That's a good guess. I'm gonna guess it's the one that gives all of your minions +2/+1 and summons 2 treants. 5 mana.
Dranium knows the cards. He doesn't know the name of the cards.
It
No.
looks super familiar.
Meanwhile,
It's really famous.
the aggro druid player doesn't know the best card in the deck.
Oh, it's God, I haven't played it in ages.
I like
Arbor.
only play token druid in
Arbor.
WoW.
It is Arbor up, correct. Alrighty.
Oh no.
Once again, we have proven that Hearthstone players do not know the artwork for spells.
Excellent.
And next time I do this, I'm going to bring token artwork, maybe, or something. Token spell artwork, just to make it even more obscure.
I miss aggro druid now. Maybe I'll bring it to THL this week.
I did like Arbor. It was a good card. And Cold Arms. Cold Arms is a good card too.
Yeah. Okay, I know what line I'm bringing this week then. Tax Paladin and aggro druid. Let's go.
All right, and we're seeing so many what are you going to say? so many spells from our memory, past Wild matters. Let's jump into Wild Series. Great transition there. All right,
It is a
Wild
good
Series.
transition.
We're across into Wild now back, and we're going to kick it off with our Player of the Week for Wild Series Week 3, because we did have a double week in there for Wild, so we're only up to Week 3. And our Player of the Week for Week 3 is going to be announced by Oddlaw. It's in the show notes. Please read it out.
Of course, I'm excited for this one. So, series was an interesting one, and in this series, it's not every day you see a match with two lineups who stand out from the crowd. In honor of this month's Twist 4 match, Rupee Daddy and his opponent had to build a lineup fitting a specific criteria. Make 4 decks whose win condition is Cthulhu. Yeah, that's right, boys. It's one of the ancient gods was the spotlight of this week's matchup. During the match, Shmoopy Daddy, aka the off-meta decks Enjoyer and Legend ranks Digger, got the better of his opponent with a solid 3-1. I encourage you to check out the decks, and you will find some gems. Congratulations, Shmoopy. Couldn't have said it better myself.
And that nomination came from Copa.
Did indeed.
Yes, so I believe they brought Wild decks with the win condition as Cthulhu. So, and was that against? Was that the lamp? Was that
Was
the one that
against
was that on stream?
us. That was against Lamp. I don't know if that was on stream.
I can't remember. I just remember Lamp talking about it. So
Yeah, he subbed in to play it. He was very excited for that matchup.
yeah, cool. I think maybe it was streamed by
I think it was on
Lamp
Shmoopy
or
Daddy's
Shmoopy. Yeah,
Twitch.
I
Yeah.
think they'd streamed it. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so player of the week, Shrimpy Daddy. Let's move along to our feature lineup for round 3. Training Battle, can you take us through our wild feature lineup for this week?
Yes, of course, we've got MTG Squirrel's lineup. He's got some unusual decks like Quest Demon Hunter and Quest Druid. Um, and then he's also got a pretty unique construction for Shutterwalk Shaman here as well. Um, it is running, I mean, still the ice fishing's the Murloc package, all that standard. Lightning Storm is something that I usually don't see. Speaker Stomper, also something I usually don't see. Um, and yeah, it's being called Freeze Shaman because it's running cold storage. It's running the maybe they're counting ice fishing, but it's running Glacial Shard. It's running Snowfall Guardian, um, as sort of the anti-aggro pieces. I would have thought. I mean, I'm not one who plays much Wild, but I would have thought that Ashen Elemental would have been nice here because of all the draw coming out from like Tony Druid uh, from the
Discard
I'm
Dock.
forgetting, yeah, Disco Lock, but opting instead to keep the Ashen Elemental to the ETC of the Quest Druid, and is an interesting choice. And that Quest Druid itself is pretty interesting too. Um, Looking to sort of build up over the course of the game and then explode with a bunch of large minions and large damage, just like the Quest Demon Hunter, which we saw, an entire season ago. Did not think that it would still be around, um, but yeah, still able to scam some big boards. And Mech Rogue was the deck that ended up being banned. I think just because it lined up very well the removal of the Fan of Knives, the Bone Spike, um, the early pressure, able to combat the mech aggro lineup from the other side. So yeah, definitely a cool bring list.
Yeah, probably there's been a lot of same brought, apart from those that are doing the twist style decks. There's been a lot of same decks brought, so hopefully we'll see some changes to the meta with the new cards coming out, and might be able to shake things up a little bit. Get some different brings into Wild. But yeah,
Yeah, this is kind of like a lineup from last season, huh? It's very much like some of the best decks of the seasons past brought back into light. Pretty cool.
yeah. I think if you're expecting a certain bring from the other side. There's still a lot of room to sort of bring target lineups or specific decks that you think will do well into something. Just if sometimes it's tough to make that call if you get it wrong. I know I've done it in the past where you've thought, I'm definitely going to see this, and then you end up with all of these anti-secret cards in your deck, and you don't face any secret decks or something like that. But yeah, having the ETC definitely does help being able to put tech cards in there that you don't necessarily want otherwise as well. All right, so moving along, our wild match for this week is a big one. Oddlaw, what happened? What happened to your team last week? You had
Yeah.
knocked off F2L and Sleepyhead Shakers in the first 2 weeks, and then you came up to the juggernaut that is WTF.
You know what? I think it was a bit of a charity week. Clearly, we were just feeling generous, and we decided to give one to the boys over at YTHL Fanatics. But no, honestly, uh, they all played really well. And against this type of matchup, sometimes these off-meta decks are gonna surprise you and then uh, sneak up on you and steal some wins. All the series were quite close, as you can see, and I think it was a lot to do with that. Speaking personally, I shouldn't play Tony Druid. All three of my losses were me messing up APM on Tony Druid. Uh, Obviously, we got the Shmoopy Daddy Lamp Twist matchup. So yeah, overall, I think it was just we were caught a bit off guard and with our pants down a little bit, and we're exposed as um, unable to navigate the unconventional as well as these experienced off-meta kings. So yeah, something like that.
And as you've said, there's a lot of 3-2s there. So, sometimes the matches fall your way, sometimes they don't. Sometimes all the matches don't fall your way. And that's just the way it happens. There doesn't seem to be any real, blowouts there. A lot of game fives and just didn't fall your way this week.
Yeah, it's kind of the beauty of Hearthstone sometimes. It's like still an RNG based game sometimes, and honestly, not super mad about losing to someone like Wild THL Fanatics anyway.
Geranium, did you have anything you want to add from this match?
Sorry, was that poking me?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean it's kind of cool. The like I know that Wild is a very diverse format where you can like there's so many different decks from throughout history, and yet still so many people bringing Mech Paladin here. like uh, there's a lot of different options. Discard Lock, something that I thought would be more ever present, isn't in everyone's lineup. So this is a pretty surprising week for my outside take on Wild. Um, and even getting to see Death Knight banned is a surprise to me. So
Yeah, very. It was a choice I had to make. Honestly, with that, in a bubble, the even Death Knight actually lined up super well against what I was doing. So I think it was the correct choice, and that matchup should have probably been a 3-1 my way or 3-2. I definitely had lethal two of the Tony Drew games, which is the curse of the deck, of course. But yeah, it was a good list actually, the even Death Knight. Very interesting list.
It is good to see that there's 11 classes on the board there as well. So, only one the WTF didn't bring was the Hunter, which Azalea Okari has got on the other side. So, yeah, 11 different classes. Don't see that very often, especially like even in standard. Like there's usually like 3 or 4, but Wild more so. Like Hunter doesn't see much play on ladder, but in a lineup where you're targeting something, definitely has a place with different decks.
I will say in standard, it's pretty hard to have only 3 classes, but sometimes teams do it.
Yeah. All right. Big win for WTF. Let's see how that has what that's done for the ladder. Do you want to run us through the table here? Who was I did into the table? It was Dranian. Do you want to run us through the wild table, noting that there are some bye weeks in there as well?
Yes, of course. So the only conference, the Green Conference, has these 7 teams. The top 4 teams are in playoff position here. F2L Viridian is at the top with 51 points. That's 17 points per week. Now, points per week is important because those bye teams that we're going to see later might have a spike in the points per week. So, A Plastered Monkey at 42 points. Avoid Punitive Measures is that team with a bye here, 40 points. That's 20 points per week. They're kind of in first place in a way. If they had that extra week, maybe they would be. Sleepyhead Shakers looking tied at 40 points. They're going into their bye week, while the THL Fanatics uh, featured here at 37. World Shakers also had a bye. They are at 26 points. And then finally, there is Worgen Greasers at 21 points. I believe that there's still another 4 weeks to play for a lot of these teams. So 4 weeks to play is a lot of ground to make up. A lot of ground they can use to make up. Sorry.
Yeah, each team plays 6 weeks, so looking at the team record there, you imagine 3-3 is probably a good chance of making the top four there. If you're 2-4, you're probably not a good chance of making it. So if you're staying level, if you drop one behind, you probably want to win the next week. A couple of teams there, Sleepyhead Shakers and WTF probably want to win this week. It's not too late for the teams at the bottom. World Shakers and Morgan Greases both have 4 matches left. If they can get a couple of good weeks in, that'll bring them up to level or in front for World Shakers. So, looking at the points per week, 4 teams making it, and third place is only on 14 points per week. And just about any team at the moment can realistically make the top four. Very, very open indeed. Odlo, did you have anything you wanted to add about the ladder, the playoff standings at the moment?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty hyped that we see 2-1 sitting at the top because it means that like 6 teams within 14 points of each other is pretty insane. And actually, the whole table is pretty close together, which is always fun for a series. Like, you don't really want a series with a blowout. It's not as exciting, and it'll mean that as the last few weeks come, I'm sure we'll see a lot of very important matches, a lot of very serious lineups brought, I think, and pretty exciting run to the finish for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, there probably isn't, looking at it as well, there's not really any, like, I would say, while there aren't any bad teams, like, there's a lot of good players in the series. And, you know, it's just going to come down to how they play on the day. It's not one of those things where the good players always rise to the top. You still got that bit of variance, or should I even say anomaly, uh, moving forward. Which brings us to our last bit of the night. We'll go back to the main screen here, which I wanted to ask you both about the anomalies, with another one of my fabulous transitions there that didn't really work. Um, we've seen a little bit of chatter about the mini set and the anomalies in the THL Discord. And I've seen a little bit online as well on Twitter/X. Thoughts on anomalies and the mini set? Odler, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I mean, of what they've revealed so far, it's looking like a bit of randomness. Not everyone's favorite, not my favorite, but also looks like the first couple of weeks are going to be pretty chaotic with the 100% anomaly if someone has it in their deck, and if both people have it, it's going to be some pretty intense games. Excited to see the Twitter post of the turn one Tony Druid win off the card reduction anomaly, and I think ladder will be very chaotic for a couple weeks. In terms of the cards, it's looking like a lot of kind of synergy cards that may or may not break the game. It's hard to say at this point. We've only seen the Hunter and I think just the Demon Hunter reveals so far. So pretty interesting stuff so far. Hoping for some buffs to my favorite deck so I can stop playing even Warrior on ladder. So yeah, we'll see.
And Dream, thoughts on the
Yeah,
anomalies and the mini-set?
I will kind of echo my thoughts that I said last night on Hearth Center, um, by saying that me personally, I don't like anomalies in the game just because I'm someone who likes to plan ahead. I'm someone who likes to try to win the game before I start, before the mulligan comes up. Um, and anomalies are something that can't be planned for. You, for any one anomaly to happen, is about like a 1.2% chance after the 100% chance goes away. Um, as we move into 25% of the time there'll be an anomaly, and then one of 20. So yeah, can't really play around each anomaly. There's going to be 20 different ones, so even knowing comprehensively what each one is going to do for your deck is very hard. So I don't like it, but however, that does mean for the general Hearthstone population, for the general THL population, perhaps it might be a very welcome thing. Each of the anomalies isn't very strong of an effect, so while there are some cases like the -1 mana in Tony Druid, while there are some cases like drawing 2 cards for an aggro deck, um, I think most of them won't automatically win the game for one of them on the spot. We haven't seen all 20, but that's what I'm assuming. And that sort of spice of not actually deciding the game, but introducing a little bit of interesting fun might be exactly what people need to get back on ladder and have some fun with that. So anomalies as a system could be pretty cool. Um, and then for the cards that have been revealed so far, uh, yeah, I think it's interesting. The hunter cards are a little bit slow. Like they're not exactly aggro cards, but they could go in aggro decks, like the +1 attack to all things could go in an aggro deck in standard, but it might also go into a hound hunter-ish deck as well. So gonna be interesting to see how people use those, and maybe Pain Lock is back in standard. Obviously, it's a little bit hampered in wild, but we'll see how standard fares.
Yeah, I'm sort of a similar view. I like to plan everything out. I know what my opponent's bringing, but like once the game starts, we'll we'll see what the anomaly is and then sort of adjust on the spot. And I don't think it'll make too much of a difference. Hopefully there's no, you know, if anything, the salt channels in the team discords are gonna get a little bit of extra work, but I don't think they're that strong that it's gonna make a massive difference, like we've said. So, but yeah, interesting to see how it goes, and hopefully we get to see. I'm hoping to see a lot of games on the streams with the new cards once they're out as well. So, which brings us to the end of the show. A bit of housekeeping. If you would like to be playing on stream this week, we do have streams on Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. So hit up Saku or Wild9 in the normal channel, match requests. We have Out of Your League will be coming again on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. We have a couple more guests. We are still looking for guests for our shows. If 9 a.m. Saturday is not your thing, still hit us up. We can try and do it on another time. We can even do it in the evening, Eastern time, that kind of thing. It's still manageable. We can work out a time. So we'd love to have more people on. If you want to come on, just suggest a time and we'll see what we can do. Yeah, so Drain, did you have any last words before we finish the show tonight?
Sure. I'll mention that I mentioned for the streamed matches that there's actually a raffle that's going on. So if you do participate in streamed matches, your name will be put into a raffle, and then at the end of the season, they're going to draw names for that and give out packs. Um, I- it's either 5 or 10 packs. I forget exactly which, but they will give out packs to the players that they draw in that raffle. So if you are interested in being a part of that, might be a little bit of an extra incentive to get your match played on stream, and it's a lot of fun. And speaking of a lot of fun, I had a lot of fun on Out of Your League. I hope that that other people give it a try as well because it is a very fun format. Trivia, a little bit of an interview, just a good time.
Yeah, thanks for the plug. We do have a lot of fun on the show. Oddlaw, any last words for tonight before we finish the show?
I think that pretty much wraps it up. I hope that everyone's having a lot of fun in preparation for the mini set and having fun in their THL matches. And, as the seasons are kind of getting into that midway point, people are kind of getting more synergies with their team, getting more confident in their lineups, and gonna come home strong. Yeah.
Yeah, so best of luck to everybody this week with your THL matches. Hopefully, your team can get a win. And best of luck for the rest of the season. From us here at Sidebar, this is us checking off until next week. Good night.